Yo, what's up? It's Julian, aka Delaluz, and we're still chilling on the floor. So feel free to join me. And as always, I wanna extend. Oh, yeah, wait. Yo, what is up? This is Julian, aka Delaluz, and today we want to talk about creative strategies, about intuitive versus strategic approaches to learning, and about Yo, what is up? This is Julian, aka Delaluz, and today we want to talk about the difference between intuitive and strategic learning and experimentation and the limits of those approaches. We're still chilling on the floor. Feel free to join me. As always, I want to invite you to open up any kind of project, scribble some notes on a piece of paper, draw a sketch, write out a melody as you listen. The content is not that important. What's important is to get you working and to get you thinking in new ways. I was watching this video of speedruns of a game called Jack 3. And one scene in that video really stood out to me because the author was differentiating between the approaches of two of those speedrunners. One of the speedrunners was very intuitive. The way he approached the game was simply trying and trying and trying and trying again and again. And by doing that, he developed this very intuitive, fluid approach to moving within the game. Because he did it so much, he managed to really hone in on the most effective ways to move through the game and beat it as fast as possible. Then we had the other speedrunner that was a very intellectual person that approached the game by analyzing his own speedruns and going over those parts where he felt he could improve again and again and again, while really focusing those parts that he felt like he was lacking in. Now, both of these people were on the top of the leaderboards. They were the best of the best in this little macrocosm of speedrunning that game. What's interesting was that as time progressed, and as the documentary pointed out, both eventually started to gravitate to the other person's approach. The person that was playing very intuitively and just hammering at it until he got to that really fine way of moving, eventually realized that he couldn't really improve anymore by just blindly trying things. And he started to watch back through his own attempts at beating the game and looking for these little spots where he could improve. And he started having even more success doing that. And the other person that was very mental and analytical in his approach decided to just drop that for a while and just play the game and really try through intuitive movement and through intuitive approach, increase his skill and get those last few percent of improvements that he could make. And in that way, they both kind of started copying each other and moving away from what they originally did, and managed to delve even deeper and elevate their skill even higher. Now, what does that mean for our creative endeavors? First of all, it's interesting to kind of analyze and become conscious of what your process is. Are you a person that's very emotional, very intuitive about how they go about things, and you just try and try and try again and improve a lot? Or are you rather a person that thinks about what they do all the time and tries to develop new strategies? I know I am. And furthermore, maybe be open to the possibility of trying it the other way. And don't go crazy with it. Just do it for an hour or a day or one project, whatever you feel comfortable committing yourself to doing things in a different way. And then again, as you are working on the project or when you are done with your session, your day, your project, reflect on what you learned. Reflect on maybe different ways that you approach the topic. A good way of becoming aware that your approach isn't really netting any results anymore is when you feel like you're going in circles. So you have worked on 3, 4, 5 projects in the past months, and you look at them and they're all kind of the same, and you don't really know why. That's the time to really see if your intuitive or intellectual approach might be limiting yourself in progressing with your art. Before I end this video, I want to talk about another kind of allegory that might open your mind to this concept a little bit more. I've been playing this racing simulator with a friend of mine, and in general, there's 2 approaches to learning how to drive a track. So in the track, what you really need to learn to do is take corners really well. And you can either go into the corner way too fast and then try to go a little bit slower every time you come around, or you go into the corner very slow and then speed up a little bit every time you go through it. And it's kind of the same thing when you are working on stuff. There's this book about fast and slow cognition. It's called Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow. And it's kind of like that. When you go with the intuitive approach, you're kind of going and taking the corner really fast. And then you are going to make mistakes. You're gonna cut too far. You're gonna understeer. You're gonna just make mistakes because you're not really approaching the subject with the speed it really needs, with the slowness it really needs. But on the other hand, if you always take the corner slow and you never try to push the limit and go into a zone where you're going too fast, you're also never going to really find that edge in the middle where it's just right. So again, this is just something to reflect upon, to inspire you a little bit. I hope you liked this short video. If you did like the video, leave a comment, subscribe. It would help the channel, and I will see you in the next one.